Hi, I'm James McGuire here at AWS reInvent, and I'm talking with Michael Cordner, Chief Technical Officer and co-founder of Jentic. Michael, thank you for talking with us. And wow, it's been a busy reInvent. Any impressions of the show this year?
It has. This is my first time at reInvent, and my first impression is that it's absolutely massive. There's tons of people here.
Right.
Massive trade show floor, so it's very easy to get lost.
Yes.
In the place. Yeah.
The intensity is pretty amazing, for sure. Yeah.
But also a lot of good people here. Met quite a few good people. I mean, it's a very heavily technical conference, which is great for people like me.
A lot of bright minds, for sure.
Yeah.
You know, I'd like to start off by getting a sense of what Jentic does. I know, of course, it's in the agentic AI space, but what is Jentic's mission in the world?
Well, what we do is we help enterprises with their AI transformations, right? Now, you've probably heard that phrase before, and it means a lot of different things to different people.
Sure.
But to us, it really means that in order to deploy agents successfully and use AI successfully in any organization, you need to kind of start with the basics. You need to start with your existing infrastructure.
Okay.
And where your existing APIs and tools already exist.
Sure.
And in order to see success with AI from that, you need to make sure that the tools and the APIs are adequate for agentic use. And what that essentially means in a nutshell is that APIs and documentation up until now have been built primarily for humans and for developers. And for AI to be able to make sense of it, it needs to be a lot more precise and clear. And APIs need to be laid out better and differently with a mind to agents actually using them. I think you've probably seen that MIT report about 95% of enterprise AI rollouts not failing, but failing to see any ROI. And in our opinion, that's kind of inevitably most organizations haven't had enough time to get their APIs and get their landscape to the level where AI can be of use to it. So that's we hopefully want to help enterprises be in that 5%, or at least show a path to early ROI and kind of paths to general AI rollout successfully as well. Yeah.
Well, I'm just going to sort of a two-part question. First, do you think that companies underestimate some of the difficulties of getting set up? And if so, why are companies underestimating that?
I think they do for reasons I've just mentioned. I mean, people tend to see AI as a magic tool that somehow reads your mind or is supposed to read your mind and then come up with an answer to figure out how to do something.
Right.
But really, AI is as good as the information that it has to work with.
Right.
And unless your infrastructure has been structured and planned in such a way that information on how to use tools and how to use APIs is always available and it's correct and it's accurate, then you're probably going to have a bad time trying to get an AI to do something on it.
It's not as magical as some people think.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, I think that's probably one of the most frustrating things about people find about AI. It seems so magical, but you're kind of expecting it to doesn't it know what I mean?
Yes.
A lot of the time you don't even know what you want from it yourself.
Sure.
No, I don't know what I want, but that's wrong.
Right.
Yeah.
I think it's amazing. I'm not even sure companies are ready for this, and that over this year, maybe 2026, 2027, a lot of companies will have hundreds, sometimes thousands of agents hitting their infrastructure. So the question is, it's really a swarm of intelligent entities. What does operational excellence mean with that?
Yeah, well, I mean, kind of. I mean, if there are thousands of agents hitting infrastructure, in some places, where are those agents actually living? And in a lot of cases, that's shadow IT, and there's a lot of security concerns all over the place that people are just kind of putting tokens for various APIs into their Skunkworks agents. To me,
do you quick interrupt? So do you think that? I guess I hadn't thought. I know shadow AI is definite. So you think people are actually divisions are renting agents that they're not even authorized to be using?
I don't know if authorized. I mean, obviously it depends on the organization.
Sure.
Not authorized might be a bit of a strong word, or in some cases it might be. In companies where there has been no kind of strict AI policy around this, one department or one side will create their agents and they use the APIs they're interested in, and that's over there. But the rest of the organization obviously has no view on what's happening there.
Okay.
And agentic use would manifest as AWS usage or whatever whatever operational usage that they have, but you don't actually have any kind of trace or insight into the agents themselves or what are the agents actually doing, what systems are they accessing.
Right.
So really, to the second part of the question, operational excellence to me means all of your agentic use is centralized and logged and observable and auditable. And just that act of having all of your agents come through one place where you can monitor and view them, I think is a huge improvement to the existing landscape.
Right.
I think.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So it's really about being able to track and monitor your
Track
agents.
and monitor. I mean, all sorts of issues around security and compliance. Like it all, being able to rectify those issues all starts with proper observability.
I think the other question that really is on companies' minds is how do we really get return on investment from agentic AI? We know it's a great
Yeah.
buzzword. We want to be on board, but where's the return on investment? So if a company's going to work with Jentic and with their agentic AI deployment, where's the earliest return on investment?
Okay. I can give you a long answer to this question.
Probably a 5-hour answer. I would
A
think.
very, very, very long answer.
Sure.
But okay, backing up a little bit.
Yeah.
I think that where AI has shown to be the most use and demonstrated return on investment is within development environments. So things like Cursor and Windsurf, where you have an AI with a set of tools and a developer guiding it. And because you have a developer guiding it, you're allowing the AI to bang against the wall a few times to try and get something right. And then you have a developer going, aha, that's exactly what I wanted. And the output of that is a chunk of code or whatever part of the system that works and does the task that we were trying to do. I think that pattern, and there's a definite ROI to a developer on that. Maybe developers don't necessarily quantify things in terms of ROI. It definitely makes development faster.
Sure. Cursor in particular, I know. I hear a lot of raves about Cursor.
Yeah, absolutely. So if we move up a level and we apply that at an enterprise architect level, what does that mean? It means that, now again, this might be a little bit far in the future for some people right now, that the best use of agents is in a situation where you determine how to do something. The agent is allowed to experiment until it gets something right. And then when that works, that's captured as a workflow.
Okay.
And that's business process mining, business process development. But basically, AI, I think, where it's really going to shine in the future is by reading process documents, understanding tasks that are given to it by the organization, and basically a much faster loop for developing business logic for enterprises.
Okay.
And that's where ultimately I think the return on investment is going to be. Now, obviously, the investment has to be made at the API level and build the entire stack from the ground up to make sure that the AI is set up for success as it's doing that. But that's basically my main thrust. I think in the future there's going to be two kinds of agents.
Okay.
One agent is the kind of enterprise business mining development agent, which is taking tasks, observing kind of agents, trying to do things until it gets it right, and formalizing those as workflows, right?
That's the one we think about the most, perhaps.
Yeah, absolutely. And then the workflows are added to an index of tool capabilities for the organization, right?
Okay.
So, and then the second kind of agent is simply going to be the agent that takes a vague request, matches it to one of those workflows, and executes the workflow.
Okay.
And that's a bit of a opinionated on my part, but that's genuinely how I think AI is going to play out, or agents are going to play out.
Interesting. That second type is sort of like the concierge. It's handling the request.
Basically, yeah.
Yeah.
Like it's a very simple loop. Like an agent reads a task, checks its capabilities to see if it has that tool or that workflow. If it does, execute it. If not, call the other type of agent to create that and then capture the output as a workflow.
Right. Yeah. So do you see Jentic as a separate layer over the infrastructure, or is it integrated with the company's middleware?
I'm not sure I'd call it a separate layer. We certainly, like, part of it is certainly a separate layer, as in we have a centralized authentication management service, right? So all agents and all authentication come through the Jentic platform. When an agent makes a request to an external tool, the platform can search for the tool, it can add the authentication to the tool, you preset all the authentication and monitors and tracks all of that. So that's one layer. But ultimately, if I can describe a little bit how Jentic works. So
please.
It's, first of all, we've just launched a scorecard utility. So the first thing obviously to do when you're trying to get your API landscape up to a certain standard is to be able to analyze it. And figure out exactly which APIs might work, which need work. Once that's done, we'd select a set of APIs that work and then pull them into the Jentic centralized system. We do some improvements on those. Some improvements you can do automatically. Some you can might need to be a little bit more manual. That's going to be a process. Obviously, it's a journey. There's going to be some work involved in a lot of this.
Right.
As we're doing that, we're building out a sandbox at the same time. So each API we read, we build a set of mocked endpoints for those, and that's supported by an LLM, and so it's kind of a mix of deterministic kind of.
And it lives in a sandbox as a safety feature?
Absolutely. Okay. It lives in a sandbox because then you have a sandbox that looks a lot like your your actual infrastructure, but then you can put agents on top of that and play with that and figure out what the agents can do and
Right.
have them start to play with what processes and workflows they can mine out of that
Yep.
without any actual danger
Sure.
to the actual data. Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
That's most of it. I guess I'd love to get a sense of anything else you think people really need to know about agentic AI. Obviously, it's really a new journey for companies. They want to get on board. And
It is.
what advice might you give them?
It's a journey. It's absolutely a journey. Right now, we're looking to work with a few design partners that we have in the work that we're signing up right now. And one of the things that I say all the time is everybody here needs to have a bit of patience. It's a journey.
Yeah.
There are no experts here. I mean, the people who pass are the most experts are maybe the people who've been doing ML before it was AI and before it was cool.
Right.
But as far as applied AI and applied how to use an LLM and how to fit it, or any kind of model and fit it into your processes, I think it's going to take another 5 or 10 years at least before there are kind of best practices and everything's been done and tried. I think we're building stuff right now that we don't necessarily have names for, but we'll look back in 5 years and go, oh, well, obviously we were building one of those.
Yeah.
It's like 1996 basically right now.
Interesting, because it's probably the most honest and authentic answer I've heard, because most vendors won't say that, but it's true. Because it's too new to have. There's no one has like a long track record with agentic AI.
No, absolutely not.
Right.
But the flip side of that is we can say we're experts at it because we've been doing it for a year and a half. It pretty much puts us in the.
I like that. Yeah. Good. Michael, I wish you the best of luck with it, and thank you for talking with me. I hope we get a chance to talk again soon.
Okay, great.
All right.
Thanks, Doc. Thanks. Enjoyed it.